Hi, everybody. It is episode 557 of PodQuest.
Hey.
It is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. I am Chris. With me is Droo.
Hello.
And Walnut.
Yeah, I'm here.
After you got a coffee, or a matcha, whatever it is you said you got.
I got a matcha, yes. I got a matcha. Surprisingly, we're all here. None of us have been deported yet, so that's good.
That's because we're all,
White.
Yeah.
Nope, he wants to deport natural borns as well. So
Yeah,
no,
but
it was
white.
homegrown.
homegrowns. Yeah. But he wants to deport homegrowns.
Yeah, this country is just a fucking disaster.
I hate to say this country. It's this administration, but
No,
it's
it's
because the country voted him in. Look, conspiracy theorist in me. I'm still convinced he cheated. I'm still convinced he cheated big time to win.
No, half of this country supports a racist piece of shit.
Yeah, there are shockingly more people than you think that support him, but I don't think it's as many people as voted for him. And I don't think the people that didn't vote for him, or that did vote for him but don't support him, voted for him because they didn't want a woman in the office. I think he literally somehow found ways to buy votes and fraud, and I really feel like they should have fought that. But it makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me.
That's fair. But we are not a politics show because none of us are... we could talk about politics, but we shouldn't. That goes in a bad direction.
We're nerds. We're not politicians.
Or political analysts or any of that sort of thing.
I used to have a political show. We stopped doing it because things were too depressing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about how it goes. I lost it.
Cobb broke. We broke Cobb. That's my goal. That's my goal in life, is to break Cobb live on the air.
You did. You succeeded.
Finally, after 400, 500, 600 episodes, I don't know, 557 episodes, finally did it. Broke Cobb.
557 exactly.
Yeah.
No, it feels like this week has been a month.
Right?
Oh yeah.
That feels so long ago.
I literally started this week thinking I was getting re-sick.
And
it's still up in the air. Like, I had a headache all day yesterday, like a sinus headache all day yesterday and stuff. Like, it is still up in the air.
Fun.
Like, no, it's been frustrating as all hell, and I've got one more antibiotic left, so see what happens.
Well, let's get this thing on the go then, and Rich, what is on the agenda?
On the agenda, we all watched the, I guess cult classic, or just classic, John Hughes classic, The Breakfast Club, from it was the 80s, right? Yeah.
1985.
85, yeah. And then I beat Dino Crisis and finished watching Echo this weekend. And I guess Cobb wants to talk about my experiences so far in Super Mario World, the original. And then Cobb and Droo went to a music thing with Blink-182 guy, Mark Hoppus. He's the bassist, right? Yeah.
Yep, bassist and co-lead vocalist.
The deep voice guy. The guy who sings better than the other guy. The guy who should be the lead singer, in my opinion.
I mean, they're co-leads.
Yeah.
I don't like, what's his name? I've never really cared for his voice. Like,
but all the spiders!
I can't stand Tom DeLonge's voice. And I will say, I am on record saying I thought they were a better band with the other guy when
Matt
Tom
Skiba?
DeLonge left. Yeah, with Max Skiba.
I mean, look, Skiba's good. The problem is I don't think Skiba's voice works for the Tom songs.
No, but like the album that they released with Skiba on it,
no, that was a great album.
Is in my opinion the best album they released.
Honestly, their newest one is actually really good. The one that they released once they got back together.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, they are touring this summer with Alkaline Trio.
Yeah.
So at least that assumes there's no bad blood between everybody.
Yeah. But let's get on with Breakfast Club.
Yeah. So what did you guys think of it?
So I knew, because I picked this movie, so it's like I knew this movie is like a movie of nothing. It's not generally my type of movie to watch. But I had seen it in the past, and it is a bit of a classic. And you give it a level of respect, but also there's some now. The movie will not be made nowadays, or definitely there would be a lot changed about it for sure. But it's a product of its time with some of the language and things like that was used.
Yeah.
There was one line though that made me laugh so much. Did she call someone a freak or a dillweed or I don't know? Used one of those like 80s insults, like butthead kind of insults.
Oh yeah, no, there are a couple of those. Like Emilio Estevez does a couple of those to Judd Nelson.
Yeah, and like some of those, like the script is great. To be honest, like the script, like is fantastic. There again, and again, there are
within reason. Like you have to kind of look at it as an '80s movie, like as a product of its time.
Honestly, though, even given some of the language they use, like using the word "fag" and things like that, like that is, I don't think that is a negative thing for a movie like that. And I feel like the way it was written, like, makes it work. And that's I like part of that might keep it from being released in nowadays, but also at the same time, I think you kind of need some stuff like that, like to especially learn how Bender's family life really is. Like you kind of need like some of that going on.
Yeah, but not just that. Like, so there's the scene where Molly Ringwald does like the makeover on Ali Sheedy, and suddenly Emilio Estevez thinks she's amazing, while thinking she was like some sort of freak the whole movie, just because she pulled her hair back and put on some makeup. Like that's not great. Even I saw online they had like a cast reunion recently, and like even the cast called that out as problematic back then.
Yeah, like literally this is the 40-year anniversary this year.
Yeah.
Of the movie. And I saw that same thing. It was a Variety article. And like it's like it's weird that he only wanted to date her after the makeover, but at the same time, like you kind of got that a little, that he had an interest in her throughout the movie. Like there were little hints here and there that like as he was getting to know her more, he was a little bit more interested. Then the makeover happened, and it's like it's both weird, but look, we only know a day in the lives of these kids during Saturday school. We don't know if she goes back to dressing the way she was immediately after that, and they're still dating or not. Like we just know this 8-hour time period of their life.
I mean that is very true. But that's all the more reason why like that particular bit kind of stands out as just like that's a little shitty.
Yeah.
But I think like a lot of the rest of the movie, like Rich, you said up front, to you this is a movie where nothing happens. Where like I'd argue it's not an action movie, but a ton of stuff happens. It's very character driven.
But they're not. It's so bipolar though. Like none of what they do makes any sense.
No, not at all.
Like they literally go from hating each other to like defending Judd Nelson's character when they told him, no, don't take the fucking don't close the door, don't. Oh no, we're gonna defend you now. All of a sudden for no reason.
That's like I would have told him to stop doing what he was doing, but I ain't a rat. I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm gonna tattle on him.
But they all fucking hated him for the first up to that point. Like there was sure you're not gonna be. Why did any of them care to not be a rat to him though?
Well, because the principal's a giant asshole.
The principal's a giant asshole. You don't want to pile on to what he's gonna. What you have to spend 8 hours with this kid.
Theoretically, they could have spent no hours with him if they just ratted him out and the principal took him and put him somewhere the fuck else. Like,
but here's the thing: the principal's lazy. The principal didn't even want to have to get up or spend this time in the library. The principal was supposed to be in the library the whole time with them.
The principal eventually took him away and put him somewhere else. I mean, he got out 2 seconds later, but like.
But like that is, I don't blame them for, like, I get what you're saying, but I don't blame them for that, because like that is like the street code, and I know this isn't the street. This is fucking a Chicago.
None of them are
school.
Like street, except for Judd Nelson's character. Like,
but like you don't tattle on somebody because it's the same as like it's not the same as what I.
Spoiler alert! I fucking hated this movie.
Really?
I fucking hated it.
Have you seen any of like the Brat Pack movies?
No.
Okay.
Like I fucking like I said, the characters were so bipolar that like fucking none of it made sense. Like it was incredibly dumb. I fucking
I don't
hated
know.
it.
They felt like teenagers who don't know what they want.
Yeah, it's teenagers. That's teenagers. It's like that's exactly what it is. Like they acted like teenagers. They acted like both hormonal teenagers and teenagers that are just confused and just they're lashing out. And like I get hating Judd Nelson's character John Bender the whole time, but also like I mean, look, what was the nerd's name? I don't remember. Like him turning around saying, "I consider you guys my friends," after spending 4 hours with them on forced detention. Like that's a little weird, but also he probably doesn't have a lot of friends.
Yeah,
and so that's why he felt that way.
Yeah, and like that was very much like a lot of movies do that sort of like I don't want to call it forced bonding, because I feel like that's not the best way to describe it, but it basically is. Like, like you're trapped in a situation with people and you don't get along, but like you end up just finding common ground. Sometimes it's just a common enemy. Like for them, it was the principal. They obviously throughout the movie they didn't get along with each other. Like you know they would go back and forth, like Drew said. Like they'd be arguing, then they'd get along. They'd argue, they'd get along, which is, I mean, that is very human, especially when like they're people that you don't interact with on a regular basis, and you're now like they're all you have to interact with for an entire day.
And it's also very 80s when emotions aren't really something you're supposed to talk about.
True.
And so everyone has these feelings and emotions, and like that's, I guess, part of the problem with the movie. Nowadays, everyone would have been high school kids nowadays are more open and expressive about their emotions and feelings and about therapy and shit than they were in the 80s. Whereas in the 80s, it was just Emilio Estevez going getting some pot and hotboxing by himself in the language hall while everyone else is smoking together and just not talking things out. That's what teenage years were in the 80s, or at least according to John Hughes, in the 80s.
I mean, yes. And like I don't know that Breakfast Club is even the best of like these movies. But I like it, but I've also like I saw it as a teenager, and like not that it like resonated because it, you know, even as a teenager it was still 20 years prior that it had come out. It's still one of those, it's like, okay, no, I get it, like stuck with people and all that, like, because I mean that's basically school. Like even you take away the like Saturday detention out of it. I was more shocked that like their Saturday detention was 7 a.m. to fucking 4 p.m. Like literally 9 fucking hours.
Was it 4 p.m. when it ended? I didn't take
so
note.
At the beginning of the movie, the principal says it is 7:06 a.m. You have 8 hours and 54 minutes to go.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Other thing that Erica and I were talking about after we watched it, the principal, when he's like yelling at them, at one point says, "I make $31,000 a year and own a home." Can you fucking imagine making $31,000 and actually owning a home?
I can barely imagine making $45,000 and owning a home, and I do it right now.
The terrifying part, I'm pretty sure teachers still make about $31,000.
Oh, yep. For sure. Depending on the district, but yeah, for sure.
Like, but yeah, that part like stood out as like, man, fucking inflation and
this movie is dated. Movie is dated for sure. I feel it is the principal definitely went way over bounds, locking the kid up in the room by himself. Like that's even
the janitor called him out on being a piece of shit.
Yeah. Like that is definitely illegal. He actually shouldn't be putting his hands on him at all. A lot of this is definitely illegal.
More illegal now than it was in 1985.
Oh yeah. I'm trying. I don't. The whole scene of them all smoking weed and then Emilio Estevez dancing around on the second floor of the library just
makes very little sense.
Because that's not what weed does to you.
No, you don't get more hyper.
No, you chill. Like you don't get wild like that. Unless it was laced with something, which who knows? John Bender living in the suburbs of Chicago could be lacing it with something.
It was the 80s.
Exactly. the most like uncomfortable storyline in my opinion was the relationship between Molly Ringwald and John Bender. It was because it was just him being a creep the whole time, like especially the time he was looking up her skirt. Which to me, honestly, a shock of a shot too. Like I was not expecting that shot.
Right.
Yeah.
But like their whole dynamic, and then just turning into like her going and finding him after he disappeared into the room he was locked in, and him being like, "Hey, if you want to get back at your parents, let's fuck." And it was like, this is just uncomfortable. This is manipulation at its best. Like you, John Bender, learned nothing from this.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing at all.
Yep.
And it's because he gets the iconic scene at the end of the movie with his hands up. Everyone knows that scene, but he learns fucking nothing from this.
No, not even a little bit.
Like, and he barely walks away with friends. Barely walks away with friends. And it's just like, to me, I was just like, this is an awkward as hell, like, stupid high school girl story that, like, you know, it was written in the 80s, so obviously it was probably a writer's room of mostly men that don't understand high school women at that time. But it's just, this is weird. Like, this is, like, it's uncomfortable.
Also, like, just to be clear, like, this was written and directed by John Hughes. Like, there was no writer's room. This was just a, let's see, 50, 60, 70. This was a 35-year-old guy.
Yeah, 35-year-old guy writing a story about teenagers. 16,
also,
17
shit, John Hughes has been dead since 2009.
Mm-hmm.
I knew he passed away. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
But yeah, like, this movie is, like, I understand it being something that people liked back in the day. Like, when I watched it, like, I think I watched it during school, like, in fucking high school.
Probably.
I don't remember what teacher, but I remember watching it in school. Unless it was college. It might have been college. Because I did have some media classes in college. Because we watched When Harry Met Sally in college as well. So this might have been one of the movies we watched. But, like, it's a I wouldn't say it's a great movie. I wouldn't say it's a terrible movie. It's a fine movie. Like, it's something, like, if you see it on TV, watch it or something like that. I'd watch it every once in a while. Like, every 10 years I'd watch it again or something like that. But it's just, yeah, it is very disconnected, and it would be interesting to see what they did with a modern day Breakfast Club.
Yeah, you know, like this, that could be like an interesting, like a remake. Though I feel like today, like, they wouldn't get away with, you know, making kids go to school on a Saturday.
We still had Saturday schools. That is a punishment. Saturday school is
that was 20 years ago.
I mean, I know like 2 high schoolers, but they're like, obviously they're like nephews and cousins and whatnot. I don't have their numbers to text them and be like, hey, does your school still do Saturday school? But I think, like, that's just,
I would genuinely be curious, just because, like, schools are so they get, what's the word I'm looking for? Parents especially, like, argue and fight against any of that stuff so often that, like, I would legitimately be curious if that's still a thing.
It looks like it is.
Oh, cool. I also, to be fair, like, I never totally got Saturday school. Like, what teacher wants to be there on Saturday?
I mean, I'm sure that's a thing that was, like, pre-worked into whatever contract.
Their contract or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. But that's like one of those, like, man, I don't want to fucking do this.
Well, and that's the thing, like, that the teachers don't want to be there either. So, and it's probably not something that happens all the time or every weekend or whatever. Like, I'm sure not every Saturday is filled with Saturday school. According to Google AI, yes. In New Jersey, Saturday school or Saturday detention is still disciplinary action that gets taken.
Cool.
That's according to Google AI, though, so take it with a grain of salt.
Some of the articles, Google AI. Come on, now.
I just Google it and it pops up at top. Everyone uses Google AI.
I don't.
What do you Google something and then scroll down past the Google AI information?
Yeah.
I if I'm doing some quick search like this, but like the some of the articles referencing, like the one NewJersey.com article is from 2021, so it's the most recent.
It's not that long ago.
Yeah,
and like post like COVID lockdown stuff. So
yeah, I thought it was weird, and like I've never had Saturday school. I don't think any of us had Saturday school.
Nope.
But like,
not that I can remember.
the beginning of the movie, the fucking nerd, his mom's like, take the time to study. He's like, we're not allowed to study. I'm like, that's stupid. You literally have to sit there and do nothing for 8 hours. That doesn't make sense. That would not make sense to me. Like that to me is not
really doesn't make any sense.
Like, just sit there, hands crossed, staring straight at the board. No, like I'm curious as to what Saturday school is. Like, do you bring your books? Do you study? Do they have worksheets that you have to fill out and work on? Like, what do you have to do? Because, like, the way they built it in this, and maybe in the 80s it was different, but the way they built this, like, they just go and sit in the library for 8-9 hours.
Well, they were given that essay to do.
But he said they were doing something different at the beginning of the movie. He's like, we're doing something different. Like, that's not what they normally do.
True.
The essay was just a part. It was storytelling beat. That's it. Generally, for a Saturday school, they just sit there and twiddle their thumbs for 8 hours, which that's a bad punishment.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense.
That doesn't teach kids anything. Like, it teaches them about prison, basically. It's, well, here's what you'd be doing in prison, so stop being bad.
But even prisoners are expected to do things during the day. Like,
yeah,
there's like work, there's like recreational time. Like, they literally aren't just sitting there staring at a wall for 8 hours.
Exactly. So it was I was just, as I was watching, I was just like, I need to know what Saturday school is, because I never had it, and this doesn't make sense to me.
I would also like to just point out that at lunchtime, judging by where everyone grabbed their lunches from, they just had them like under the tables. They were not kept in like the cafeteria in a fridge or anything.
Yeah.
And Molly Ringwald pulled out sushi that had just been sitting in a bag under the table for 3 to 5 hours.
It was in a fancy bento box, though. Like, it probably is like, and she's rich.
I'm just saying.
Probably like,
and Emilio Estevez pulled out a half gallon of milk.
That's the more questionable part than the sushi for me. It was the half gallon of milk, and also like the 6 burger, or like he had like a burger. No,
it was like 5 or 6 like turkey sandwiches with like lettuce and tomato. Yeah, like all of their lunches except for Anthony Michael Hall were like just not appropriate for not being refrigerated.
Right.
Yeah. But even Anthony Michael Hall, like, his sandwich was like wasn't it like a ham and cheese sandwich or something?
PB&J with the crust cut off.
Oh, PB&J. Yeah, I guess you don't really have to fridge a PB&J.
Yeah, I mean the jelly is kept on the shelf. Like, you're supposed to refrigerate it after opening it.
Yeah, and so most likely
a few hours, it's not going to like hurt it. But like raw fish, milk, like those should be refrigerated.
Fucking pimento loaf.
Yeah.
Pimento loaf. What did she have in her sandwich? Pimento loaf, and she threw that off.
And then she poured Pixie Sticks and
Captain Crunch on it. Yeah.
Weird movie. I do like it. It's not like, I would not say it's the best movie ever, or that it's like a thing that I have to watch once a year. But like, I enjoy it. I enjoy most of like those like Brat Pack 80s movies. I have not seen a lot of them in a long time, but like, even some of the later ones, like your Home Alones, which I know isn't a Brat Pack, but what was the other one? Home Alone, Uncle Buck, Ferris Bueller. I want to say John Hughes did Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Like, you know, like all those movies from like the like mid 80s through like the early mid 90s. But yeah, anything else either you guys have to say about it?
No. I think it's a perfectly fine movie. It's like. I feel like like I said it earlier, I was like, I feel like it'd be interesting to remake this movie, to see what it'd be like for a modern day Breakfast Club, and like have a 2025 version. The world would hate it because it would, quote, be woke, because obviously there would be like a non-binary character in that and stuff like that, but it'd be interesting to see like what they'd be talking about in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But Drew, do you have an 80s movie you'd want to watch?
So I have one that is on Tubi.
Okay.
Which is it's UHF.
Oh, the Weird Al movie.
Weird Al movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick before we move on, can you guys check for me and see if either of you, both of you, one of you can get a trial for AMC Plus on Amazon.
AMC Plus on Amazon?
Yeah, so if you just go to Amazon and search AMC Plus, it'll like bring up like the subscription page. I just want to see if like there's like a 7-day trial available or not. I think there is one, and I've just used it before.
I mean, we might have used it before. More details. Free trial of AMC Plus.
Yeah, I see. AMC Plus monthly membership with trial, 1 week free trial, then $9.99 monthly.
Okay, cool.
Or $6.99 with ads.
Yeah. So I was asking because that's going to impact my pick. I have 2 movies. One of them is streaming on AMC Plus through Amazon, or it's like a $4 rental on Amazon. I think the other one is just on Hulu. But I'm not really sure which one I really want to pick. I know this makes it harder because I was hoping maybe like Amazon just didn't have a trial and that would just like rule this out. But
what's the one that's on AMC Plus?
I don't want to say. You know what? Fuck it. I'll say both of them. Commando is on AMC Plus, the 1985 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Okay.
And the other one, which I don't remember what platform it's on, is Vampire's Kiss, which is the Nick Cage vampire movie. That's not Renfield.
I would say we've done Nick Cage a lot.
We have.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's the statement. We've done Nick Cage a lot.
We've done, and I'm not saying no to Nick Cage. We did a whole theme of Nick Cage. I'm not saying no to Nick Cage, but I am saying we've done Nick Cage a lot. So maybe lean towards Commando.
I mean,
but
Commando is a near perfect action movie. It opens up with Arnold Schwarzenegger carrying an entire tree over his shoulder.
Ultimately, it's up to you. But that's just my suggestion is we've done a lot of Nick Cage. We haven't done any Schwarzenegger. Honestly,
we did like all the Terminator.
No, we didn't. We've done one Terminator.
Yeah, we only did the really bad No, we did 2 Terminators.
What 2 did we do?
We did
Genesis and the last one.
We did the one that Linda Hamilton came back for, and the one with Matt Smith. So we did the one where Arnold was in it as an old man. It was the one with what's her face from Game of Thrones, and then the one after that where Linda Hamilton came back, and it was a girl that was a Terminator but was also the good guy, and it was like a different girl was like maybe supposed to be John Connor's something or other.
Yeah, the equivalent. Yeah, I remember that one. I don't remember doing I vaguely remember watching the one where Schwarzenegger was old. Vaguely, because like we must have done them such different times.
I think they were some of the first ones we did.
Yeah.
Because I think you just ended up watching like Terminator 1 and 2 separately from those 2.
Yeah.
As like these movies sucked. Let's see the ones that people claim are good. But cool. So in 2 weeks we will do UHF.
Okay.
Excellent.
Just
Rich,
real quick before we get into my stuff, I shared a video on my Discord. Did you know that the estate of Michael Crichton is suing HBO?
I saw that. Yeah,
because
of their new show.
The new show, The Pitt. Because the video is all about like the legality behind The Pitt, and basically what happened was they wanted to reboot ER with one of the lead characters. Noah
Wiley is
with Noah Wiley. Yeah, they wanted to reboot that, but just have it be through the course of a single day post-pandemic. But she was asking for too much money for consultation fees. Like Michael Crichton's wife, who owns his estate, was asking for too much money. So they and it was an astronomical amount of money. So they just decided, all right, then it's just not a reboot. It's just a hospital drama with this actor and all these people who used to work on this show. They're just doing a new hospital drama now. And so, yeah, she's suing them. But also, she sued HBO for fucking Westworld because she didn't get enough money for it. She's just a money grabber now, it seems.
Oh, yeah, so I did not know that part of it.
Yeah,
I saw that whole, like, suing over that, or, like, that show, and I haven't seen the show. I'm like, it can't be that similar to ER.
It's technically not. This only similarity to the show, like... The only way you can call it a similarity to the show is the lead actor looks like a main actor from the original show because it's a lead actor from the original show.
Yeah.
But like the location is different. besides it being in a hospital, the characters and actors are different, and like it's all different because it has to be. But it's what they were planning on doing with the ER reboot, just name changed. So like you're allowed to have a hospital drama.
Yeah, there's tons of them.
Like you can't sue. Like Michael Crichton's estate can't sue for all the hospital dramas. But I just like talking about this movie, and then it just made me think of. I don't know why it made me think of Michael Crichton and Jurassic Park, and then I was like, oh yeah, his wife is suing HBO or whatever for the Pitt, which now it makes me want to watch the show even more.
Yeah, like honestly, like now it's like, yeah, let's go give them some ratings.
Yeah,
that's stupid. That's real stupid.
Yeah.
Now talk about Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis. All right, I finished it on Monday. It's a good game. I enjoyed it. It's very like early, or it's very late 90s survival horror, so it's clunky and chunky and tank controls and things like that. But it all works. It's like some of the dinos like do move a little fast, but like you get that leeway with how slow they attack at times and things like that, so it's not too bad. And it's overall a fun, silly game that like God, it brought me back playing this game and brought me back to like laughing at how bad the voice acting and scripting was in late 90s games. Like I have one scene clipped where your lead character gets held up by gunpoint and she's like, "What are you doing, freak?" And I was just like, that is amazing. That is so bad. And then like the character who's holding up your lead character is like a scientist, and he just starts talking scientific mumbo jumbo, and I'm just like, this is such a 90s script here. It's insane. I love it. The game is a little frustrating at the fact that like it's made by Capcom, so you would assume they would have gone with some similar stylings between like Resident Evil and this. But like if you find, say, a file to read, they don't take the file with them. They read it and leave it on the desk. So if you need a code for something and you didn't write it down, like physically write it down or memorize it, you need to find that letter and find that code again. So that was a little frustrating because like there was at one point near the end of the game, I was running around the whole end game area trying to find a single code for something that I thought I read, but I guess I never did. And so I didn't have it. And so I'd like, and again, like the maps, they're older map systems. So like it doesn't tell you if you missed any items in these rooms or anything like that. Whereas newer Resident Evil games do. So like I didn't know I missed this letter, or maybe I did read it, but since they don't hold it and pick it up, I read through it real quick, but didn't register with it or whatever. So it's just it was a little frustrating because it's just like I wish I knew what I knew. Like I wish I had all of like I wish it saved everything. Like if you have like a key card for something and you run up to that, you actually have to go into your item menu and use the key card. You don't just run up to it and hit action button and it say like, oh, you have this key card. Do you want to use it? No, you have to go. It'll like you'll hit the action button and it'll be like it needs such and such key card. And then you have to go into your items menu, go into your key items, go to the card, hit the action button, hit use, and then they'll use it. It like the user interface is rough. Like the menu system is rough, but that's a 90s game for you, especially in 90s survival horror. But overall it was good. The story was whatever it was. They were trying to make a new energy source called the third energy source, and when activating it, it opened a portal to a rift in time to that exact spot. But in prehistoric times, and then the dinosaurs came through. Apparently T-Rexes are incredibly strong and can crash through steel reinforced doors for absolutely no reason.
Sounds about right.
But if they run past a like a crane hook, they get hurt, which sure.
Makes
sense.
Checks out.
And T-Rexes can swim, apparently. At one point at the very end of the game, like the T-Rex comes in through this giant doorway, and you have to run from it, and you just have to survive until like your transport gets there. And so like I run around, like I shoot it twice, and then I run around the room. It hits the crane and staggers a bit, and then I keep running. It's just a square room with one path that you can take, and eventually your party, your one of your co-agents or whatever, teammates drives up in like a hovercraft. He pops out. He's like, "I got this," and he has a rocket launcher. Shoots the rocket. Doesn't hit the T-Rex. No. Of all things to hit, doesn't hit the T-Rex. Hits the explosive barrel behind the T-Rex, which causes the whole room to explode as you're jumping onto the hovercraft. And then he's like, "We got to get out of here before everything blows," and starts like sailing away. And you see the T-Rex stand up and dive into the water. And this is all late 90s graphics, so it's even funny.
Oh, it's so goofy looking, I bet.
It's even funny. Like, definitely check that out. Like, it was so ridiculous. And then they're in this water driving away, and you see this T-Rex like his head is like fishing along like a shark. It's just like, this is ridiculous. T-Rexes can't swim. They cannot swim. They do not have the arms for it. But yeah, it was silly. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. I hope we can get to playing Dino Crisis 2 sometime soon, but we'll see. We're pretty close to it, actually. We're only like 3 subs away to getting a Dino Crisis 2. But that's as of today and tomorrow, and that'll change on Friday because we're going to drop 2 subs due to monthly subs. Unless they're auto resubs, then we won't drop them at all. But yeah, we're at 27, so we only need 3 more to get to Dino Crisis 2. But yeah, it was fun. It was silly. I don't think I would ever want to like. There's apparently 2 other endings. I don't know what they are. I don't really know if I would care to rerun for them because one of the more annoying parts of the game was the door code system. So in order to get through certain doors, you needed 2 keys. And then you needed to solve the puzzle of the keys. And it's annoying. It's not the solving the puzzle because it's always the same answer each time. For like each door, it's the same puzzle. Not like all the puzzles are the same, but it's each door, it doesn't change. It's the same passcode that the door has with every playthrough. But it's just the annoying part of having to grab both keys every time, even when you already know the password. You can't even guess it or attempt to guess it until you get there. And there's like one or 2 rooms that I haven't even been in, that I'd never even got into. But it's because the game actually lets you make decisions at times. And so it's like, you can either go with Gale or you can go with Rick. Who do you want to go with? And like, Rick is usually the more sensible thought, whereas Gale is like the more like straightforward military man thought. And if you fail at one of them, you then have to go the other way. Because there was at least one that you could just straight up fail. And I tended to go with Rick most of the game because his made more sense. But like the second time you get the option, I failed going with Rick and had to go with Gale. And then the third time I did go with Gale because I was just like, just sounds easier and faster. This just really sounds easier and faster. And then the last option you get is basically go along with Gale who's dying, or knock Gale out and rescue him and get off the island. But basically sort of fail your mission because you didn't get the one person who you were trying to basically rescue or kidnap, or he was the scientist that made all this, and so you need to get him so you can study his science stuff.
Which, like, I didn't realize that game. So I'm going to be honest. Like, I did not realize Dino Crisis had like that much of a story. Like, I thought it was just like kind of a generic action game.
I mean, it's a survival horror, so it's
I also didn't realize that. In my head, I don't think I know the difference between Dino Crisis and Turok. Like, I know last week we talked about, like, I definitely got them confused.
Dino Crisis is Resident Evil, but dinosaurs. Turok is Doom, but dinosaurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never played either of them, so, like, I don't have, like, any, like, base for them.
Dino Crisis is Dino Crisis is PlayStation, and Turok is N64.
Also, yeah.
So slightly less polygons in Dino Crisis, potentially the ability to go X and Y axis.
Sure. I mean, Turok's a first-person shooter.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Did not know that.
That's why it's Doom. Why I said Doom, but
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like even
Like-
it's probably like GoldenEye controls then, where like you have to hold the aim button to look up and down. You can't like otherwise you're just kind of looking left and right.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, that's how like Metroid Prime was though. Like to look up and down, you had to hit the aim button to look up and down.
Yeah, because Nintendo took an extra 20 years to add dual analog sticks to their consoles.
And, I mean, technically, they had dual analog sticks when Metroid Prime came out.
I mean, the C stick wasn't really an analog stick though.
But it could still be used as one.
Did any game use it as one though?
No.
Time
It was.
Splitters
I don't think Time Splitters did. I think Time Splitters still had you have to press a button to strafe left and right.
Wait, wasn't Time Splitters on rails, or is that only the arcade version?
No, you're thinking
of
Time
Crisis.
Time Crisis.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That is correct.
Time Splitters was like the first person arena shooter.
Yeah.
Where you could play as a monkey.
I
Time
know what you guys
Splitters
are
is
talking
the
about.
game that the GoldenEye developers made.
Oh, I actually did not know that.
I'm 99% sure.
I mean, I believe you. I just didn't realize that.
Oh, wait, what was the lineage on that? Free Radical games are often considered spiritual successors to GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. And yeah, Free Radical, I'm pretty sure, was a bunch of people who used to work at Rare. Yeah, most of Free Radical's initial employees previously worked for Rare. So yeah, it's like spiritual successor to GoldenEye Perfect Dark.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know that. Learned something new.
Yeah.
But now,
Yeah.
Rich, like, do you want to play Dino Crisis 2? Like,
I do want to play Dino Crisis 2. I would really, really love to play Dino Crisis 2. But like it's also it seems to be that putting some of these games behind paywalls, especially retro games, really is kind of working out for me. So like I'm gonna kind of keep it there. I'm not gonna edit that up too much. I'm not gonna change that out. But like if we go like 6 months and I don't get around to playing it, then I'll probably be like, all right, we're gonna change the next goal and whatnot. We'll see. We'll see how these goals work. I'm only 15 days into doing this. I like come back to me in 3 months and see if like I am still doing these sub pushes like I am now, and see how it works. But yeah, like I do want to play Dino Crisis 2. But I just like I do want it to be, because it is like the retro style and the old school style, and I do have a hard time playing even games like Dino Crisis and Resident Evil, like old school Resident Evil. Like I do still have a hard time playing just because it's, I don't know, it's just, it doesn't click with me as much anymore. That like I don't want to force it. But also like even right now, currently I'm in the middle of playing Super Mario World because I reached the 20 sub goal. As of right now, if we were to reach 30, I would still take a break after Super Mario World from the retro games and play something modern before jumping on over to Dino Crisis 2.
Fair.
Because like I do want to like give myself that refresh, and it's the modern game is also, it's currently on Game Pass, and I don't know how long it's going to be on Game Pass, and so I would like to play it sooner rather than later. That's going to be South of Midnight.
I just bought that game.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, and it looks really cool, and so I really want to play it.
Nice. Yeah, I had Steam credit, so I grabbed it on Steam.
Nice.
Yeah. It was also, it was Steam Deck compatible, so I figured why not? Because I thought it looked cool, and I keep hearing like podcasts and stuff like kind of gushing about it.
Yeah, it looks really cool. The animation is all like stop motion kind of style, and like it looks very pretty, and it's like more of an action game. It is definitely a game I think you would be more into. I thought initially it was kind of more Souls-like, but it's not. I think it's like maybe a 10-hour game too. It's more just like a straightforward action game. But
Yeah,
it looks great.
It seemed more action game than Souls-like.
Yeah.
So that is good.
Yeah.
Now how about Echo?
Echo was interesting. So I finished the last 2 episodes this weekend, and like it was weird, but it was interesting. I really feel like they maybe should have just done this as a movie, like, and not like a theatrical release movie.
Like
they
a
should
Disney
have just
Plus movie.
a Disney Plus movie. Yeah, like they did that with the black and white one that had
Werewolf
Hellsinger.
or Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night, yeah. Which I mean, I think that was only like 45 minutes to an hour. But they could have done like a 2-hour movie on Disney Plus, cut some time out of this. It really definitely could have gotten this under 2 hours and just released it all as a single movie, and it would have made a little bit more sense. Maybe cut it differently. But it's just like it's interesting, but it's like this character. I don't think they're ever going to go back to. However, I have not watched the finale of Daredevil yet. And that aired as of recording today, so who knows if it changes? I don't think it does, but I don't think she's back.
I don't think so either.
No, but like they're never really gonna. I don't think there's no reason to touch back on this character, but it was weird, the whole powers that they gave her. It doesn't really fully make sense. And like Cobb, you didn't finish it, so I don't really want to spoil too much about it. But like the final episode was good. It was interesting, but it was also like the setup was weird because it didn't make sense as to why things played out the way they did. Like it made no sense. Why like at the end of basically the least spoilery I can get to it. At the end of episode, 6 episodes, right? So at the end of episode 5, or at the end of the second to last episode, Maya leaves town. And then partway into the beginning of the last episode, she gets a premonition or she gets a thing and decides to go back to town. And like, it really didn't make sense why she decided to leave town. It made sense why she went back, but it really didn't make sense why she decided to leave town besides just plot. And even the plot like didn't make sense. Like I don't get it. I didn't really get it fully. I might have missed something, but it's just like it was weird. But yeah, it's unfortunate because like this seems like a cool character, but I feel like they jumped the gun giving her her own show that fast. Like they should have kept her as a side character a little bit longer. But it had also been 2 years since she was really a side character in Hawkeye.
I think more like 3.
Yeah, I can't remember. We talked about it last week, but it has been a
Hawkeye
while.
Hawkeye was 2021, and this was 2024.
Yeah. So yeah, it had been a while. So it's just a little bit of a disconnect, and it's just I don't know. It's just a weird character and weird choices that they decided to make with her. That just like I'm like I don't think it was bad at all. I just don't really understand it. I don't really understand some of the decisions. But it was fine. It was fine. Like again, not the best Marvel series. Not the. I wouldn't say it's the worst Marvel series, but it also like I'm trying to think of all the Marvel series is. Like I guess maybe you would have an argument that it is the worst Marvel series, but that's really not saying like it's not a bad series. It's just it's not as good as the rest, kind of thing. Like
yeah, no, that's fair.
But it's also I know people who hated Falcon and Winter Soldier, and that was my favorite, one of my favorite. Like that's number one for me.
Yeah,
and
I actually really like Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I know people who thought Falcon and Winter Soldier was garbage. And like I thought Loki season 2 was just dumb, and I was like, I like a lot of what happened with Loki season 2 was just unnecessary and unneeded, and I didn't really like it. But I know there's a lot of people out there that loved Loki season 2, so it's like it is really like incredibly subjective, and like again, I don't think this is a bad series. I just think it was just too disconnected for a connected world, with the exception of like the very, very, very end, where they tease at Daredevil, basically.
I remember reading online, like, that was kind of like, this was supposed to help lead into Daredevil.
Yeah. So, and this isn't really a spoiler, but at the very, very, very end, Wilson Fisk, and this isn't a spoiler because, Fisk is still alive because of Daredevil. Fisk sees a news report that, like, the mayoral race in New York. And so, like, it leads up into Daredevil to an extent, but like the very first scenes of Daredevil is a year before the rest of the movie, the rest of the series takes place.
Oh, interesting.
So like, yeah, so like it like the very first scenes of Daredevil is actually before the events of like Echo and stuff. But like it's just like a quick thing. It's a setup, a couple of setups. So that's it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a fine series. Like again, not their best, not their worst. It just feels really disconnected for what they were trying to do. But it was they did what they did.
Nice. Well, anything else you want to say about it before we move along?
No, let's just move along.
Okay. Well then, Super Mario World.
Yes. I still am convinced that everyone who says that this game is the greatest game or one of the greatest games of all times have never played every level of this game.
I don't know, man. I played up to where you're at before we recorded, and I had a great time.
There are levels that, and like, maybe I'm not using the best controller. I was using Joy-Cons because my Pro controller was charging, and I don't have an SNES Switch controller at the moment.
Oh, I will say, like, using the Joy-Cons like earlier, they don't feel well. Like there's definitely like some input lag or something.
I feel like maybe there is some possible input lag even, or maybe it's just some lag with the capture card that I'm using too. I don't know. It's very minimal, but it is a pain. But like there are some levels that are absolutely fine, and then there are some levels that just like, and it's mostly specifically the castles. The castles and the ghost levels are the ones that really set me off. Because they are just, some of them can just be so incredibly frustrating. To someone who doesn't know doesn't really know these. Like, I've played a lot of these levels once before, 3 years ago. Like, it has been
they are purposely obtuse, too.
Yeah, like, and so the level I'm stuck on now is Castle for World 3, is that
Castle 3 and Vanilla Dome.
Vanilla Dome, yeah. And the problem I keep getting is, first of all, I'm trying to get the POW block so that I can just go right into the door. Because that's supposed to bring you right to the boss. If you can do that. Otherwise, you have to go through a whole level. The
rest of the level is not as bad as that first room. That first room with the wizard guy really does suck.
But, like, the level starts you up top. Where if you're big size, you can do a spin jump and break the floor, but you continue to spin jump and break the floor down below, which then you fall into lava, which is a pain in the ass. So what you need to do, as soon as you spawn, what is the fucking wizard's name?
I can never... Kamek.
Yeah.
Kamek. He spawns right next to you. You need to move to get him out of frame so he doesn't attack you. And then 7 out of 10 times, he will reapparate below you. And you should, the best strategy for me, is stand right above him so he shoots his thing up, turns the block you're standing on into a blue Koopa, or a yellow Koopa that you fall, land on, you knock the Koopa out, you grab the shell, and then you can throw the shell at Kamek when he reappears the next time. 7 out of 10 times he does that. Okay. The other 3 out of 10 times, he fucking spawns back up top and you cannot move from there. And like I'm running back and forth.
All right. So, can I give you a tip?
You can.
Okay. Obviously like this will probably take you some tries if you're interested in doing it. Enter that level with a cape. If you can have like a backup cape. When you do the spin attack, you'll go through the floor, you'll go to the next one. So like run all the way to the far end of that level so that like to the right, do the spin jump there. And if you're holding the jump button still, with a cape, you slow fall. So you can actually fall more towards the right and you will hit a few more blocks, but you should, bounce off of them as you spin attack them and land on like the solid ground.
Yeah.
This way you don't have to do all that like bouncing with Kamek. And you can take Kamek out by jumping on his head or hitting him with the cape.
Yeah, I know you can like jump on his head or hit him with the cape and stuff. It's just it's easiest to get the shell and throw it at him. My problem, like that part is frustrating because he doesn't always teleport below you. But my problem with that level is I just keep getting trapped on the fucking logs. Like for some reason my jumps aren't. Like, he's not jumping as high as he should from the logs. Or the game is glitching out to where, like, it thinks he's in the water when he's standing on a log. And so his jumps don't activate fully. in the second part when it's in the water and you have to jump either along the boxes or the logs, the little platforms that you can jump across that dip back into the water.
Oh, right. I forgot all about that. I flew through that part. Like, not flew, like just ran through it.
Yeah, and so like there was a few times I was trying specifically to get the POW block so I could get to the doorway. But like even when I don't try to go for the POW block, I get just stuck in the water, or I'll hit the jump button to swim, and he just won't swim, and he'll just die. There's not enough space between the water and the end of at the bottom of the level.
You might have like some drastic input lag on your Joy-Cons.
Maybe, I don't know. But it's being, and there's a lot of times where like he's just not jumping high enough. Like to get to the POW block, I just can't jump high enough to get to the block to jump over to where the POW block is to grab the.
Are you getting
a
running start for it?
Yes, sometimes, but other times I'm like right underneath where I need to get to, and then finally, like my problem with the game is it slides so much. Running jumps and run jumps and lands, they slide so much in that game, and it just like it's frustrating. It blows my mind.
So something that you probably haven't picked up on yet from playing, most levels, not every level, but most levels, things are spaced out in a way, and the way that they load into the level, that you can almost like just run through them and just make the longest jump possible, and you will land on something on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I don't know if you noticed, any level that has the red diamond instead of the yellow one has an alternate exit.
No, I haven't really paid attention to that.
Yeah, so if you look at Donut Plains 1 has an alternate exit, and Donut Plains 2 also has an alternate exit. 2 is actually really easy to get. You just need a cape.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, you don't technically need a cape. Like, there's stuff in that level to let you get up there without it, but the cape just makes it easier. But yeah, it's worth going back to some of those levels to look for the alternate exits, because in some cases, Donut Plain 2 that's the auto-scrolling cave one,
mm-hmm.
with like the things that rise out of the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
That one gives you the second switch palace, so you get the green blocks get filled in for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually in Vanilla Dome 1 has an alternate exit that takes you up instead of across the lake. So you actually get to skip Castle 3 entirely. You go right from I forget what they're called. Drew, what are the elephant castles? Or not the Triceratops castles, I'm sorry. Are they fortresses?
Yeah.
You go to a fortress instead, which is like a smaller castle, and it's an easier boss usually. And then you go right to Castle 4. Mm-hmm. So you get to skip 3 entirely. I think the only thing you need to do for in order to get that secret exit is either get the pink switch off of Vanilla Dome 2, which is the like half water, half land level, or have a Yoshi with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's worth like going to some of those red diamond levels and just like poking around a little bit, because sometimes the secret exits are pretty obvious, and they're almost always key based. So you'll find like the key, and somewhere near the key will be like just a black keyhole on the screen, and you just carry the key into it, it closes, and it unlocks like the next thing. The only other one I'm going to point out to you, and this one isn't obvious, the first ghost house. The one, I think it's technically Donut Plains 3, but it's the ghost house. I'm sorry, not Donut Plains 3.
Yeah, it's Donut Plains.
Yeah, that has a secret entrance. It is the very first area of the game. You just need a cape. You just literally run forward, turn around, run backwards, and fly up, and there is a ledge up there that leads you to a secret exit that gives you an area where you can get infinite lives.
And Yoshi.
That is to save you time from, because I watched most, like I skipped a couple of times, but like I saw like your default when you needed to like re-up some lives was to go all the way back to Donut Plains 1 and do the coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, 'cause if you have a Yoshi already, any Yoshis you find give you 1-ups. And it's a little secret area where all it is 5 question mark blocks. 2 of them give fire flowers, 2 of them give feathers, and 1 of them gives you a Yoshi. So if you just get a Yoshi and then leave, you just start getting 1-ups from them.
Oh, from just the Yoshi one or from all of them?
From just
the Yoshi one.
Yeah.
But it's
So
like it takes like 5 seconds to get like 4 or 5 1-ups because the level's only a single screen. So it's just you get the 1-up, you walk off the screen.
Yeah.
And then just go back into the level.
Okay. And where that was at
the ghost house that you were stuck on for a little bit.
Look,
you had to get the
I wasn't stuck on. It's just the first time I made it through everything. The vine popped up and then I died, and then every other time afterwards the vine wouldn't fucking pop up, and I don't know why that happened.
Oh, because you have to go through the door once, then take the switch with you through the door, and then the vine shows up.
I didn't know. I didn't know. That's not even
stupid.
how I did that. Like I didn't like.
Very stupid.
Yeah,
I didn't take the switch through the door with me.
Oh, maybe you don't have to take it with you then. But it's basically
I might have just hit the switch and went through the door.
But you definitely don't have to hit the switch. If the switch is there, go through the door again, hit the block, and it should be a vine.
Yeah, the first time I went through it, I went in, hit the switch, went back, did the secret door, which makes no sense to me because the coins just go up and over into a wall and then stop.
Yep.
Which I'm just like, okay, that's weird, but okay. And then like you take that door, which brings you back into that main room. And that second time, I went back through the door, went down below, hit the block, and there was the vine. I'm like, okay, great, I'm done. And then I died because of whatever.
Yeah, the ghost houses suck all the time. Even when you know your way through them, they suck.
The second ghost house was my exact dick and balls, because it was the green bubbles that come through that you have to dodge, and you can't really jump over them, but most of you can barely jump over them. So you have to
spin jump on them.
I didn't know you could spin jump. Like I didn't know like there was any sort of bounce with them, and it's just
there's a lot of things that you can spin jump off of. Like I think the only thing that you can't spin jump off of are the little black spinies for sure. Mm-hmm. But like thwomps and stuff like that, you can spin jump off of.
Yeah.
You can also, in that particular level, if you have the cape, you can fly all the way to the end.
I might have had the cape once, but I just didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there's a few levels where like you can just cheese it by flying over it, which like it, I guess that's really only like kind of cheesing it because in some cases, like keeping the extended flight going for like a whole level can be its own challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the little secret thing coming off the first ghost house actually it saves you a lot of frustration. I guess frustration is not the right word because you're still going to get frustrated with levels, but it saves you the hassle of like having to like farm coins for lives when you're getting low. Like you can just go back there, spend a few minutes.
It's also free power ups. Like you said, it was 2 fire flowers and two feathers and a Yoshi. So it's free power ups.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I think we're about to maybe say the same thing. You know how the box that holds the one item at the top of the screen, right?
Yeah, you hit select and it'll drop it down, and you can grab whatever's in there, and it'll replace it with whatever you got. Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, Drew, we were about to say the same thing. So cool thing you can do, Rich, if you want to look up a video. Once you're done the game, like don't do it now. When you're done the game, look up Super Mario World Orb and look up how to do this. There's a like a sort of a glitch thing you can do. That very first level, the one that has the giant bullet bills and leads to the yellow switch.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into that level with Big Mario, not Fire Flower Mario, just regular Big Mario, with a second mushroom in your little in the little box and a Yoshi. At the end of that level, there's a spot where there is a pipe with the flying piranha out of it, and then walking on a platform is a one of the little dinosaur guys. I'm sorry, rewind. You do need the fire flower for this. But anyway, what you end up doing is there's a certain way where if you jump at the right time, you hit that dinosaur with a fireball. It turns into a coin, and Yoshi eats it at the same time. And when you hit down there's like this weird thing happens, and it like glitches for a second. It turns the mushroom in the box into this purple orb looking thing. When you hit, if you get hit or if you hit select, it doesn't fall though. It just kind of like comes down a little bit and stays at the top of the screen. If particularly in the first castle, this is great because if you have it in the first castle, you know where there's like those climby fence thingies. Mm-hmm. You climb up top, you hit it, and then you can get to the orb. It finishes the level automatically.
Okay.
So it's just like an auto complete for the level. But it's cool to like work out getting it and like see like what the timing looks like to actually like hit everything just right. Because I forget exactly what ends up happening, but there's the dinosaur turns into a coin. There's another coin, and when you hit down as you jump off of Yoshi's tongue goes out, and Mario comes down at the same time, and you both try to eat the coin. And because it doesn't know what to do, it kills one of the charging chucks off screen that you can kind of hear clapping, and converts him into the orb.
Weird.
Yeah, it's like old game code is super weird, and it does work on that Switch Virtual Console one because that is just a ROM that Nintendo found online, I guarantee.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any just like things that the game kind of has shown you that like I saw you like dealing with and just getting frustrated at. Not that I don't think you see them again, but that dude on the winged platform that throws the axes. You can just hit underneath of him, like hit the block that he's standing on, and that'll kill him.
That doesn't make sense to me. You're just smart. You're supposed to hit his head. It doesn't make sense to me.
So those boxes will like bounce up. So it's like hitting.
But those boxes aren't. But they're not like boxes. They're not question mark or exclamation mark boxes. They're face boxes. They're not supposed to.
Listen, that one plays by like original Mario Brothers rules, where you have to hit the thing from below.
I will give you credit, dude. You found interesting ways to kill that thing. Like,
look, if Yoshi can't eat it, then I'm getting a fire flower, and I'm just finding my way to jump off Yoshi to hit him with a fire flower.
Which, yeah, no, that one in particular, though, yeah, you just come up underneath him and just kind of bop him.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Drew said the same thing. Drew, as I got him the one time on my last run of that level, he was like, just hit the bottom. And I read that, and I didn't respond to that. I didn't respond to that right away. But then I killed him. And you're like, or just do that.
Yeah, as I typed that, you had done your jump off Yoshi, throw a fireball. I was like, that works.
Look, did you actually play with the controller upside down?
I did, but I did very poorly. So somebody challenged me to play with the controller upside down. So I flipped the controller upside down. So I'm using the two Joy-Cons on the controller. So I flip it around, and luckily it was, what was it, the second ghost level? So 3 or whatever, 3-4, and luckily it's just going left, and so it's going left and remembering when to hit jump. And it worked a few times, but there were some instances that just like I would not have been able to get through the bubbles.
Yeah, no, those bubbles suck. That's why I fly through the level, because I just don't have the patience to deal with them.
Yeah. But I did for 3 deaths. I played with the controller upside down. He keeps wanting me to play with the controllers upside down whenever he pops on,
which is weird.
He did. He did that to me on Dino Crisis.
Yeah. One other. This is specific to the Switch for you. If you're ever like in a spot and you're just trying to figure out how something works. You know it has the rewind feature, right?
I'm not allowed to use it.
Oh, okay, you set that stipulation for yourself.
I mean, that to me is not playing the game. That's fair. I have to. I'm like that is using that is like that's a training exercise when you're trying to learn speedruns and stuff like that. But for me, that's not something that was in the original game, so I can't use it.
Well, that's why. I specifically meant like if you're just trying to figure out how something works, like. You can go into a level and just kind of like fuck around without having to constantly like restart the level.
Yeah, but
like you could go into Castle 6, practice doing like the spin jump across like block without dying, and then just die once, go back in and like do it for real.
Yeah, but I don't know. That just it feels a little cheaty is using that.
Yeah. If I die, I die. I use it a lot if I'm trying to do something like stupid. Like if I want to see if I can like jump between two things, I will like do it, rewind, do it again until like I see if it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like
if this wasn't like a challenge run, I would be more open to using it. But because this is more of like a challenge, I can't really. I'm not using it because it's not part of the actual game.
Yeah, then definitely get that ghost house secret entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, when you fly up in that ghost house, before the door to leave, there are 4 1-ups there too.
Important thing about those 1-ups, they are ghosts, so you have to get them before they hit the wall, or they will just go through the wall and be gone.
Okay. Weird.
That actually happened to me when I was doing it earlier, because I went through the whole game up to the castle you're on, and because I wanted to remember like the routes for everything. So I unlocked all the secret levels except for the one in Donut Plains 1, because that one's actually pretty obvious. Because it's right at the end of the level. You just need the green switch to get to it.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Jesus.
The ghost 1-ups.
Oh yeah. But so when I unlocked that thing, I didn't get the first 1-up and it went off the screen. I'm just like, oh right, these are ghosts. Like they just go off the screen and then they're gone forever.
Oh, yeah. Here's a very specific tip that you may not know. You know how Yoshi can hold shells in his mouth?
Yeah.
And after a certain amount of time, he will swallow them. And this is mostly important. So after a certain amount of time, he'll swallow them. This is important for like the colored shells, because all the different colored shells do something different when Yoshi has them.
Red is fireball, and that's really all I know.
Red is fireball, yellow is a ground pound, and blue gives him wings.
Like a Red Bull.
Which the colored Yoshis get that ability, whatever color shell ability, whatever color they are, they get that shell ability all the time, no matter what shell they have, plus the other ability. If like you have a blue Yoshi, he eats a red shell, he'll gain wings, but then spit out fire.
Mm-hmm.
The thing to, especially when you have the blue one and the wings, if you land on the ground, hold down and then hit Y to spit out the shell, he will just drop the shell instead of launching it.
Oh, right, yeah, because that'll reset the timer for him swallowing it.
So yeah, that'll reset the timer for him swallowing it, which is very useful on some levels.
Yeah, the first Vanilla Dome level, the way to open up like the side path if you don't do the Switch Palace first, the pink switch, is if you have a Yoshi, right before you get to the part where there's the pink outlines leading up to a yellow box. That yellow box is just Beanstalk. But in the section right before that, there are like 4 areas with like 4 different shells in it. One of them is a blue shell. So you grab that with Yoshi, run over to that area, and just fly up to the top, and then you can use the key to exit and get the secret exit.
Interesting.
Yeah. Unfortunately, all the colored Yoshis you have to go in the Star World for. Each world has a different colored Yoshi in it.
Yeah.
So like, I think actually if you do. So Vanilla Secret 1 is the first, like when you take that first world's exit, secret exit, that then has a secret exit that gets you to one of the Star Worlds. And I believe that one is actually the one that takes you right to the blue Yoshi level. Because like each Star World exit takes you to one specific level. And you can go to the one after it, but you can't go backwards by beating them.
Mm-hmm.
Star Worlds are fun, but also like frustrating if like you're not sure how to get through them.
Yeah.
Because all of them have we were talking about last week, every Star World has like the regular like finish line. But if you do that, you don't progress. You actually have to find the key to progress to like the next link in the star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I said this to you on Facebook earlier, like, I don't think you're playing poorly. It's actually interesting to see somebody that doesn't know the game play it, because you are like, you're not running through it. Like you're not like walking, but like, you're not like just like jumping blindly because you know what's coming. You're not like on the second castle in particular, like you were like taking your time on those things that like slide in and out. And you died a couple of times near the top where the things slide back and forth, and there's little gaps where there are the spikes in them.
I died way too many times because I would hit the spike and then he'd keep falling.
Yeah, and then he'd get crushed.
There's no point. Just kill me at that point. Like,
yeah,
don't have me lose. Like, if I hit the spike, just kill me, because there's no way out of that.
Yeah, no, like 100%. But like seeing you actually play that probably the way it was meant to be played versus the way like I do it, where I just run straight across and jump. Because if you run across like single gaps like that, Mario just skips the gap. But you have to like hit it at like a full run, basically. So it's actually like it's a little hard to do on like those short ledges like that.
Yeah, I know like if there's the 1 point, like the one block difference you can run across, but I don't know like how, like I feel like because Mario, at least in this one, has a little bit of momentum gain. I don't know how far you need to start the run from, so that just didn't even click with me to just run across them, because I was like, oh well, he's not gonna have the momentum to run across them right away because it's literally one block. There's no lead up to it.
Yeah,
so that's why I just
playing
didn't
like
do that.
yeah, playing like you're playing like a normal person, you wouldn't. I don't think you would have enough momentum. I have like a little bit of a run build up from like coming up like the path because I'm just holding Y and like running the whole time.
Mhm.
And as long as you don't hit any walls or stop, you kind of keep your momentum to an extent.
Yeah.
So I hit it and I try to land on like the furthest edge of the block as I can. This way, like I also have like 2 or 3 steps on the ledge itself to run with.
Mhm.
It's all one of those things where like I've done it hundreds of times, so it's just like second nature to me. But like I'm watching you do it, I'm like, oh right, like this is actually really hard to do if you're trying to land on the pillars.
That's only the second of 8 castles.
Yeah, but like I said, you can skip Castle 3. I think you can also skip Castle.
Yeah, but, I
6.
mean, this is also supposed to be like a no castle run, no level skip run, like. But like to an extent where it's like if there's a level that like I don't have to do to push forward, like the idea is to not do any of like the like. But what you're talking about isn't really like a secret exit or like a Star Road type of thing. But
yeah, I'm not telling you to do Star Road to get the Bowser right away.
Yeah, this is, but they're like, I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably keep just pushing through with this damn freaking Castle 3. I've done it before. I've done it
because
before.
you got all the way down to that like Chaco Island or whatever it was
I
called.
was in World 5. Like I've done it before. I've been beyond this point before. It's just maybe there's an issue with my controller or whatever. My brother's gonna lend me his SNES Switch controller, so maybe that'll help.
Nice. But
and my Pro controller's charged now, so that should help.
Yeah, I'm looking at like the map for it. So you can skip Castle 3 if you go the other way, and then you just have to go through. You actually have to go through more levels at like altogether then, because there's 2 levels up top, a fortress, 2 levels on the bridge, and then Castle 4. If you beat Castle 3, it's just 2 levels and then Castle 4. Mm-hmm. But the only 2 things that you really can skip pretty easily would be the first fortress and the second fortress, because you legitimately don't actually have to come to the second fortress at all. It's just a way to get to one of the Star Roads. And then Castle 7 in Bowser's area. There are 2 entrances to get to Bowser. One of them is Castle 7, one of them's a fortress, so you can kind of pick and choose, like, depending on how you clear one level, you can either clear it to go to a fortress or clear it to go to the castle.
Yeah.
But they're altogether it's 7 castles, 3 fortresses, and a whole bunch of levels.
Yeah.
I would like to see you do Star Road, but I think like Star Road and Special would just be like more frustrating for you than it would be like fun to watch over like a stream.
I would rather do Path of Pain in Hollow Knight and try to get the true ending of Hollow Knight than I would do that.
That's fair. That is fair. Yeah, none of the secret exits I was talking about were for like Star Road. So most of them are to like getting the switches are a huge help because they do fill in all those squares and they give you access to either the other secret exits to open up alternate routes or just make levels easier to traverse, because like in level I want to say it's technically level 1-3, the one with the little like pillar things that like fall down when you jump on them and like spin. If you don't do the Switch Palace first, there's nothing to catch you if you fall off of those and you just die.
Yeah.
And there are some other levels that like not as brutal with that, but like that definitely, if you got the blue switch, things are not as bad as they could be.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mario World, great game.
Yeah, you have this addendum or this addition to the Mario World discussion about Link to the Past.
I do. So I saw you mention that if you
Have you not paid attention to like anything I've said or posted on Discord or even here? Yes, 40 subs.
Yeah.
Is my first ever playthrough of Link to the Past.
Well, no, that's why I'm bringing it up, because you're
Yeah.
not close to it, but I was using
Yeah,
your Discord as like a segue for it.
We're at 27 subs currently. Like I said earlier, we're at 27 subs. But that might drop on the 18th unless those resubs are auto resubs. Then it won't. Which I think they are auto resubs, so I don't think that'll drop. But they also might have been, one of them might have been a gifted sub, so I don't really know.
Well, I mean, a few of them were, because I did a bunch of gifting to get you to Mario
That's
World.
a week. That's a week ago, though. Like I'm talking in.
Oh, was
in
it
like
just
2
a week
days.
ago? Holy shit!
Yeah, it's only been a week. I'm talking in 2 days. On the 18th, I've got 2 subs that that are from March 18th. So I don't know if those were like resubs or one of them was a gifted sub or whatever from March 18th. So I don't really know the total numbers. But if at the time you're listening to this, today's the 16th. So this would be the 17th. So if you can go to twitch.tv/b_walnuts and subscribe the 17th, if we haven't reached our 30 goal, that'll get us to our 30 goal before the 18th, when it might drop by 2. So, but that'll still mean we need 10 more subs from there to get me to Link to the Past, to play that for my first time ever.
And so I wanted to ask, and like we talked about it a little bit last week, and even earlier in this episode. So like you're not like bumping the things out. Like if you don't hit 30 this month, next month will be 30 for Dino Crisis 2 still, right?
So the goal is to push these subs monthly and continue to grow from here, while also trying to push I feel like if I can start pushing and getting more subs, I'm going to start gaining more followers. Because maybe the algorithm on Twitch might help, because like, people are actually subscribing to this person, let's start pushing them a little bit more. That's what I'm thinking. I don't really know. But so yeah, my current sub push is really both a push to kind of help me get some extra money because I'm flat broke lately, but also kind of like bring in more interactivity with the with my viewers. So say we cap off this month at 27 subs. Then next month the goal will be minimum 28 subs. If we can reach 28 subs next month, and that would be total subs, 28 subs for the month, not total subs. So like there's a different, like right now we're going off of between the last 30 days as total to reach that 30 goal. But if the monthly subs only are at, say, because currently my monthly subs are at 22. So say they don't get much higher than 25. Then next month the goal would be 26 for the month. And if we reach that by the end of that month, we will then play, I'll do an all-stars playthrough of Super Mario 64. And then the 30 goal is still up. 30 total subs is still up and running. And that'll be up and running until we reach that. Then once we reach the 30 subs, we'll go up to 40. And that'll be up and running until we reach 40.
Okay. So what is what made you pick Link to the Past?
I've never played it.
Like that's it?
Also, it's somebody here's favorite game of all time, and I thought maybe he'd come and watch my stream more often if I did that.
True. Will you watch more often?
I mean, it's not my favorite game of all time.
Sorry, I would have to play NHL 94 for you to come and watch my stream.
That's also wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
What is your favorite game then?
Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, it's your second favorite game of all time.
It's in your top 3.
But
definitely
it's
top
also
5 for sure. I will totally come watch you play Link to the Past.
Yeah, but I've had a lot of people say that they want to see me play some retro games and a little bit more retro. And so like retro does pull in some viewership a little bit here and there, but it's a game I've never played. I knew that maybe Drew would maybe want to come hang out. I'm sure some other people would want to come hang out, and it's available. I don't have to like go out and buy it or anything. Like I totally do Tactics, but I don't actually own it anywhere that's to make it playable. Like I believe, I don't know if my PSP still works, but I have it for PSP. but I just don't know if I can play it on PSP, or I don't know if like I can actually get that to work. So I'd have to get like an emulator, or I'd have to get it on Steam. I don't actually own it.
Do they sell that on Steam?
No.
That's dumb.
Yeah, you can do Android games on your PC now, right? That's a thing. So it's an Android version.
Oh, that's right. They did
Probably.
release an Android version.
I'd have to figure that out, but yeah, I'm sure I could.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you to pay $15 even. I'm pretty sure that's what it used to be on Android. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have a physical PS1 copy sitting here.
So that is free reign to then emulate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Yeah, I mean, so like that's just, but it's also I've done a lot of RPGs lately.
Oh yeah.
So it's like kind of want to take a step back from like the big story-based games. Also trying to figure out like content-worthy games, like clippable games, because like not saying Tactics isn't like big on clips, but like I don't really know what I would clip from Tactics as much as like I might be able to get some clips from Super Mario World, but I'd probably definitely be able to get clips from a first playthrough of Link to the Past.
Mm-hmm. And
I
also,
feel like Link to the Past would be more fun to watch on a stream than Tactics too.
Yeah, Tactics is very slow. Although I guess they also run that very fast, and it's a like modded thing. There is a Twitch channel called Final Fantasy Tactics Battlegrounds where it just matches up, I think, 5 random characters on each side, and it's like I don't know if you remember Salty Bet, where you can bet on which side will win. It's that, but Final Fantasy Tactics.
Interesting.
The thing I will say about Final Fantasy Tactics, as much as I love it, there's one boss that you basically have to cheese to get through.
Yeah, it's
fucking
that
annoying.
It's that,
the
that solo
Y-Griff.
boss fight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb, and I hate that. Basically, the only way to win it is to have Ninja unlocked and make Ramza fucking Ninja / whatever Squire or whatever his thing is called.
Yeah, and you have to just cheer the whole time for like
yeah,
10
you gotta
minutes.
speed boost yourself till you like take 5 turns in a row. It's dumb.
That whole thing does sound dumb. I forgot about that.
That's the one. Like I know I've beaten it without doing it like once before, but it's fucking such a pain. It's so hard. To the time I probably beat it without using the fucking speed cheese, I was way over leveled. I bet. Because every random encounter levels up with you. The storyline missions don't.
Oh, I don't think I ever realized that.
Yep.
Interesting. But yeah, Rich, I part of it was like I was trying to like promote that with you, but I was also just curious what made you pick like Link to the Past.
It's a game I've never played that I've heard a lot of good about, and I'm just like I want to play it.
I fucking love that game.
It's probably the best Zelda.
Yes. Considering every Zelda after it is basically, well, what if we just made it again?
And I think that's the thing. Like I am curious, Rich, like what your take will be on it, because it is like it's from 1991, so like it plays like a game from 1991. There are like a lot of like quality of life things that some of the more like some of the later games have that like Link to the Past doesn't. Mm-hmm. But Link to the Past is still sort of the template for a lot of Zelda from 91 to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Even the 3D games, like Ocarina of Time, still follows like a very similar structure to Link to the Past. You know, Light World, Dark World, like same deal. It's just young Link versus old Link.
Yeah.
3 palaces to 7 palaces, like they're all the same, all of them. But yeah, that'll be cool. So 40, right? 40.
40. So we are 13 away from that, right? Right now, we are 13 away.
And 40 in a month, not like...
So, right. 40 total. So, say the start of next month, like, there is some carryover, and we reach 40 before some subs drop off. We reached 40.
Oh, okay,
It's not necessarily 40... Yeah, it's not necessarily 40 in a month. It's just 40 total. It's likely going to turn out to be that way. It'll be 40 in a 30-day time frame, but not 40 in April. Just 40 in a 30-day time frame, basically.
So, like if you got like 10 today and then 3 more in 27 days, assuming nobody drops between now and then.
Yes, but like
Yeah.
that's the thing that would also require you to re-up your 5 gifteds and
Yeah.
somebody else to re-up their 5 gifteds and things like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but
exactly.
if we were to get from like if say I mean I could just pull up my analytics and look and like I said like in on the 18th 2 subs are dropping. I don't know if that's necessarily if those are resubs or not or if those are gifted subs. But on the 18th, 2 subs are dropping. So if on the 18th those 2s drop, and then we would then need 15, and we get 15. Boom, we've got it. That would only give us 37 subs for the month, though. Like
Right.
we wouldn't be at 20. We would be at 37 if we got 15. So if we got 15 now, we would be at 37. Or if we got 13 now, we would be at 35. We wouldn't be at 40 for the month, but we would have reached 40 in 30 days.
Right. So what happens like during your like stream anniversary thing where you tend to get more subs? Are you pausing this?
No. I'll keep it. I'll keep going with it.
Nice.
Which we've talked about this a little bit, I think. Currently I think I'm going to be working on is doing a Pokemon randomizer.
Right, yeah, we did talk about that a
And
little.
subs and bits will dictate how many Pokemon I can and have to catch before I stop playing.
Yeah. We did talk about that.
Yeah.
Which that's a great idea. And that the fact that you're not gonna like put the other goals kind of on hold, like kind of gives like a little extra like oomph for people to like subscribe for the month because, get you up to 40, like more Pokemon to catch and also play Zelda.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we can probably move on to the last thing we have then.
While you guys are doing that, I have to go to the bathroom. So
Fine.
I've been holding it in for like 20 minutes.
Fine. It's because you got a matcha before we started.
Yeah, pretty much. But talk about your music thing.
Right. Yeah. So Drew and I went to Mark Hoppus's like book tour thing, which is An Evening with Mark Hoppus, which was at 4:00 in the afternoon in Philadelphia. Looking around, it looks like it's later in a lot of the other cities.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I did not know like until the day of that we got a book with the ticket.
Oh, yeah. I only learned that well after I bought the ticket.
Yeah, like I found out the day of. I was just trying to see like how long it had been going. I figured it was going to be like 90 minutes to 2 hours, like at most. But just wasn't sure. And when I was looking around, I saw people talking about like getting a book with the ticket. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll take a free book.
Right.
I was going to read it anyway, so I'll take it for free. I'm glad I didn't buy it ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think of it?
It was fun, but my partner had seen some reviews of the tour ahead of time that saying that it felt pretty scripted, and yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely scripted. Not like I'm curious if those were actually I feel like those weren't really questions from people at the shows, but probably questions that they sourced like ahead of time.
Yes, they were. Because I saw a clip from somebody else, someone from Barstool actually, that went to one of the other events on it, and literally the exact same worded question about the wildest place they've played a show or whatever.
Yeah, and like, don't get me wrong, like that. While it did feel scripted, like I didn't mind it as much because like concerts are generally scripted. Like that's what the set list is.
Yeah.
Like if you look at especially like headliners, if you look at their set list, they usually have like lines and stuff on there dictating like when they're going to stop to talk. Like they might not say like stop to talk, but they might just like put like a line between two songs, and that's like hey, the singer's going to like talk for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've been to like, and I think you have too, like some other like live podcasts where unless it's something very specific to the area, like they're just kind of doing the same show every night with maybe like a little bit of like color thrown in based on like how the crowd reacts to something.
Mm-hmm.
Like we, Erica listens to 2 podcasts. One of them's like a true crime one. And That's Why We Drink. And we went to see their live show, and theirs was definitely like, they're doing the same show at every stop. Cause like they had they did like an overnight like ghost hunt thing at like some old mansion in California. So like they were going over like the footage and stuff they had. And then there's another one she listens to that is Beach Too Sandy, Water Too Wet, which are two people going over like Yelp reviews and Google reviews of things that got 1 star and like the funny things people say about it. Like the title came from somebody complaining about a beach somewhere, saying it was too sandy and too wet. And we've seen them. We went to both of their shows in Philly that they did over the last few years, and theirs were a little more unique because they actually look up 1 star reviews for like the cities they're in and like places in those cities. So like restaurants and attractions and all that. But like, yeah, this one, like you could kind of tell, like he had been telling the same stories each day of the tour.
Which, yeah,
like,
it's not like a bad thing.
Yeah, I guess it is one of those things where it's like you kind of notice it because like their cadence just feels a little bit more like talking points versus like conversational. And like you could tell like there were definitely a couple things like because like people in the crowd like yelled things a few times and they did like stop and like react to those or like would laugh at something. So it wasn't 100% scripted, but it was still pretty close. Most of the stories were actually pretty funny though, or like if not funny, interesting. I am like I'm curious to read the book and see like what other details are kind of in there for some of that stuff. Because I read what's his name? Derek from Sum 41 released a book last year.
Okay.
Yeah, and I read that one and it was like it's the same deal. It was like his memoir. So it started with like him as like a kid growing up in Canada through basically like 2021-ish, like as they were getting ready to go on like the final Sum 41 tour. And like he talked about like the band breaking up for a while there and like the drummer like leaving and all kind of like the tensions and animosities they had between them. And then it's like some other stuff like them being stranded in a war zone in Africa at one point because they had like gone over there for like some sort of like documentary charity thing they were doing. And like it was supposed to be a peacetime, and it was like the Congo, and war broke out while they were there.
Jeez.
Yeah. I forget. I want to say the name of their album, Chuck, it's named after the guy, like the army guy that got them out of there. Like he kept them alive and got them like to safety.
Okay.
But like I'm curious, like what sort of like I mean, like Mark was talking like on stage about like going over to like the Middle East during like the 2003 Iraqi war and like kind of some of the stuff there. Like I'm curious to see if there's more of that in the book or if we basically got what was in the book.
Yeah.
Because like you never know. Like those could have just been like little like cliff note pieces, or they could have just been the actual sections of the book.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah. Otherwise, it was a good time. It was nice that it was like daytime also. Like I liked going in at 4, getting out at 5:30, and it still being like sunny and stuff. So you said you were on the right side, I assume, like down on the floor? Yeah. Man. We got super lucky. So we were in the very last row in like the center right section. And we had the last 2 seats. So we had like the aisle and the seat into it. 2 people ended up like coming like right before the show started in the seats next to us. And as they were sitting down, the usher person that was like kind of showing people seats were just like, yeah, and like the upgrades are $30. So if you want one of those like seats right up there above the stage, like let me know and like we'll get you upgraded. And I ended up like talking to the guy for like a minute. I'm just like, yeah, I mean like with the book and the ticket cost being only like $35, like you kind of got the tickets for free and you just paid $30 for the book, which was like the MSRP for it. I'm like, so like upgrading, you're kind of only paying $30 for like the seat up there since you got a book for free. And he's like, that's a good point. And then him and his wife, girlfriend, whoever she was, got up and went and upgraded. So we got to like spread out, which was great. Nice. Yeah. Because like those seats are not comfortable and they're very close to each other.
Yep.
I felt a little bad. Like directly in front of us, there were 2 very large guys that had to sit right next to each other. And like you could see, like there was no way that like they could sit comfortably.
Yeah, I had thought about doing the upgrade when the person came around and mentioned it, but I was like, eh.
Yeah, there was like a second where I thought about it, but like right as I was about to turn to Eric and be like, do you want to upgrade and like go up there to like the seats that are actual seats? They started playing the like pre-show thing on the screen.
Gotcha.
Like, put away your phone, stop thinking about your parents doing it. But yeah, I had a good time with it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I've never been to a book tour before.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever been to a book tour show like that.
So there's a book tour for his new memoir?
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
And you got a copy of it.
It's cool that you got a copy of it. It's kind of unfortunate from what I was listening with you guys that it felt scripted because like Cobb, you were saying you've been to a couple of scripted shows, but that's different because those are like in a sense supposed to be scripted. Like even the one that's talking about their ghost adventures, like it's still like scripted to a point where it's like, oh, like we have to hit these points. But this, like, it shouldn't have felt as scripted as it seems like you guys say it was. Because like it should have just been him telling stories. But I guess I understand like they don't want him to say too much because then you wouldn't have a reason to read the book. But you're all getting the book, so why not talk about it?
Well, you also figure like people are going to, regardless of what they say, people are going to record it. They're going to put the stories up online. I know, like I'd even seen like a couple like articles talking about some of the stories he told ahead of time. Mm-hmm. And like while I haven't been to a book tour, I have been like to things where like authors did like readings of their new books or things like that at like conventions, and like. They are pretty much all the same. Like the author comes, they say a little bit about whatever like the book is, and then they read, you know, a chapter or two from like somewhere in the book that won't like spoil things, and then like maybe they do a Q&A, but not always. Mm-hmm. So like it's not that uncommon for those things to be pretty like in line with each other.
Yeah,
and like I said, I didn't mind it because like I think I might have a slightly different opinion if like the like 6 or 7 stories they told were all just like word for word what's in the book, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if there's not any extra like extraness in the book, then it's like, okay, cool. So you just literally read like a few chapters and like post it as a conversation. That might be a bummer. But I think like I feel like that stuff does have more to it in the book. So we shall see though. I got nothing else. Drew, you got anything else?
Nope.
Rich, anything?
No.
Good. Then we are done. If you would like to find more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. If you can't support us there with your dollars, though, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. Rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of it helps. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline or at @one_quest on Instagram and Twitter. We're also on Blue Sky, we're OneQuest. You can find our YouTube channel is youtube.com/onequestvideo. And you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. Rich, what is your streaming looking like this week?
Before I forget, be sure to check out OneQuest Video this Saturday where we got a review coming up of the board game Hi-Fi. Finally got to editing that this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Twitch.tv/B_Walnuts. Video game streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Super Mario World, Monster Hunter Wilds, Sea of Thieves, and we'll be taking a break, a 1-day break outside of, well, I guess a 3-day break because of like I take 1 day for Sea of Thieves, 1 day for Monster Hunter. I'm going to be playing some Repo next week, so join us for some Repo as well. But yeah, just whatever we're playing, come join, hang out, and play video games. Or hang out and watch me play video games.
Cool. Well, with that, we will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See you.
Bye.